again. What's up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming to you guys today with a Harpie deck profile. One of two that I'll possibly be doing for um, this month because, well, at the time, as we all know, the month of November is here. In the OCG, they will be getting the new Harpie cards from the Duelist Legends Pack 4, Sisters of the Roses, which will include a lot of the cards in his deck profile. So, I wanted to take the chance to do this deck pro as soon as possible because not only did they announce, all the cards coming to the TCG, but the OCG just announced that they will be getting a Link monster in the Link Brains pack. So I'm really excited to see what is in told for my favorite deck and my favorite archetype. So with that said and done, let's go through the deck profile. So for my monster lineup, I'm running 3 Harpie Channeler, I'm running 3 Harpie Perfumer, 3 Harpie Harpist, 3 Harpie Lady 1, 2 Harpie Oracle, 2 Harpie Queen, 1 Harpie Dancer, 1 Harpie Lady Sisters, 2 Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon. For my spells, I'm running 3 Hysteric Sign, 2 Split Mirrors of Seduction, 2 Harpie's Hunting Ground, 2 Harpie's Feather Roosting, 1 Elegant Egotist, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, and 1 Raigeki. For my traps, I'm running 3 Harpie's Feather Storm, 2 The Elegant Harpie Lady, and 2 Hysteric Party. For my extra deck, I'm running 3 Great Fly, 1 Fighter Daruma Doll, 1 Decode Talker, 2 Lightning Chidori, 1 Castel, 1 Ice Beast Zero Fine, 1 Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Exciton Knight, 2 Gaga Cowboy, and 1 um, number 41 Babuska, the Terribly Tired Tape Eater. As you can see in the side deck, I have extras of Harpie's Hunting Ground, Elegant Egotist, Split Mirrors of Seduction, Harpie Lady, Harpie Dancer, Harpie's Pet Dragon, I'm sorry, the Solemn Brigade, and Big Eye, Red Eyes, and Tomahawk. This pretty much because I took out the entire 7 setup and put in just a basic rank 4. Because that's pretty much what I'm going to be working with this time around. It's just the rank 4 variation, the very fast and link capabilities of rank 4 monsters, of level 4 monsters, and just overall since just anything wind and harpy wise. So when it comes to a lot of the new support, they will focus around the name Harpie Lady Sisters being given their text. So you're going to get a lot of searching from both Perfumer and Oracle. Well, Oracle in terms of retrieval, Perfumer in the form of searching your deck when she's no more social summoned. With Perfumer, if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, she will search for 2 cards instead of 1. That specifically lists Harpie Lady Sisters in its text. So it's a really good way to thin out your deck, and you have so many targets. You have Elegant Harpie Lady, you have Harpie's Feather Roosting, you have Split Mirrors of Seduction, you have Harpie's Hunting Ground, of course, Elegant Egotist. So you have already enough set of targets. Then you have your monster lineup in its own core. You have Harpie Channeler, who summons every Harpie Lady from your main deck to the board except for Sisters, which is perfectly fine. Um, because you have a lot of your plays and advantages through your other monsters. In addition, if you control a dragon type monster, her level changes from 4 to 7. Don't worry, we'll talk about Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon in just a moment. Now, with Harpie Harpist, she can search for Chandler, Perfumer, Oracle, Harpie Lady 1, so she has a very good range of monsters. She's an easy good discard target for Harpie Chandler, she's a good discard target for Hysteric Party, and she's overall just a good Harpie monster on her normal summon. If you control a Winged Beast, you can bounce another Winged Beast, you can bounce it in a face-up monster your opponent controls back to hand, so you get rid of monsters a little more easier on her normal summon, but for the most part, you use Harpist to search for a lot of your key pieces. I've already talked about Oracle and Perfumer. Let's talk about Harpie Lady 1. She's pretty much just our attack boost. You can throw in Cyber Harpie Lady if you want to attack her, because a lot of people do prefer high attack over, just little stuff that runs into skill. in some cases, or you want that powerhouse to combine with your attack strength giving monsters. So some people might prefer Cyber Harpie Lady, in addition to one or two Harpie Lady ones. Harpie Queen, I did reduce her from two to one. That's primarily because with Harpie Queen, she is allowed. She allows you to search for Harpie's hunting ground by discarding her. She sets up for Harpie's hunting ground. I mean, for Hysteric Party and a lot of your Harpie plays. But in addition to Oracle and Perfumer, they have their abilities to search for those Harpie cards. So with one or two Queen, you kind of don't. Well, I would still prefer running two Queen just because she's a 19 hitter. Um, and she's overall, this deck is rank 4, so you have a lot of beaters, in addition to an all out attack if you need to go into that. Harpie Dancer going to 1 doesn't really hurt this deck because of the fact that it's just one Harpie Dancer. I'm not playing Divine Wind of the Mist Valley. I'm not trying to force a whole bunch of names of Harpies right now because I have a ton of more Harpie ladies to put into the deck. So, um, in a full case of just going through what the archetype has to offer, um, you have range, you have stability within the range. It's just, can you create enough plays with the range? And I think that's what Harpy Dancer tries to do. She executes it sometime, but not all the time. But it does make her still a viable monster in the Harpy lineup. Um, Harpy Lady Sisters. Let's talk about our favorite siblings. Sisters is pretty much to be your beater. That's essentially what she is. She's an attacker. She has really good defense, if I do say so myself, because I love the fact that Harpy Sisters, despite the fact that they don't really have like the big cost behind them, um, are still overall generally great attackers. So when you combine them with a lot of their staple support cards, like Harpy's Hunting Ground, Sweet Marissa Seduction. Hey, some people are even trying Triangular Exactity Spark, to really get a more jump onto Harpy Lady Sisters. The newer cards do something that we never thought was possible, and that's make Harpy Sisters playable again. It may not account for everyone. A lot of people may not agree with that statement. But when you think about it, if you have older cards in your set and Konami's trying to boost up their play and morale by changing their name or giving them more support, or like Dark Magician, he is still a normal level 7, 25 attack, 21 defense type monster. With next to Heartbeat Sisters, it may not be enough in that term, but look at all the support he has. He has monsters from both Dark Magician Girls archetype, the Magician Girls. You have the spell counter cards that support Dark Magician Summon, Dark Magician Search, a lot of the fusion monsters who are based off of Dark Magician. So you take any grasp and variation of the deck that you can, even if the deck doesn't supply a lot of the support that it did. Like when Chandler came out, a lot of people were trying to play Harpy Lady Sisters, but because she couldn't summon them, it pretty much left her to the wayside. Similar to a lot of the newer things that did come out between Lord of Tachyon Galaxy and Joey's World. Harpy Dancer, Hysteric Sign, Harpy Phantasmal Dragon, Harpy Chandler just weren't enough. So now that we have Oracle, Perfumer, Split Mirrors, and the Alien Harpy Lady, we have a chance now to play that dead card and not make it so much dead, but more useful than it was. A lot of people may not see that, but if you look at a lot of the replays and stuff, people are really going all out with Harpy Lady Sisters, and it's amazing. And with the recovery that we get from Harpy's Feather Roosting, we get a lot more viability out of Harpy Lady Sisters than we've ever had in this entire game. So that's primarily why I am still running Harpy Lady Sisters. I may be only running one Sisters, maybe two, but you still kind of want to be careful of the dead draw into a second set of Sisters. Some people may not see it, but sometimes some cards don't always need to be a 3, and I think Harpy Lady Sisters happens to be one of them. Now let's talk about Harpy's Pet Baby Dragon. So I was asked before about Harpy's Pet Baby Dragon, so I have to clarify it a little more so everyone can understand exactly why I'm running Harpy's Pet Baby Dragon. So, Harpy's Pet Baby Dragon accumulates 3 effects depending on the number of Harpy monsters on the field. His first effect is that when you control one or more Harpy monsters, he becomes the attack target. of your opponent's monster attacks. If you control 2 or more Harpie monsters, he will gain double attack and defense of his original attack and defense. So he will become a 2400 attacker with 1200 defense instead of a 1200 attacker with 600 defense. Then his last effect, if you control 3 or more Harpie cards, you can select one card your opponent controls and destroy it. You don't use the effect. Once per turn you can select one card your opponent controls and destroy that card. So it's a really good way to wipe out a lot of nuisance cards. If you combine it with cards like Harpie Dancer, bam, you get additional more support. Now let's talk about Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon, Harpie Chandler. A lot of people didn't like Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon working with the deck because of the fact that it hurt Chandler's plays in terms of Exceed Summoning. Well, we have all this new Harpie Lady support. Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon can still be a viable monster now because there's so much more viable support. There's your ability to use Split Mirrors of Seduction to summon him. You can also get um, him to the board with Elegant Harpie Lady, or even search for him with the Elegant Harpie Lady. So you have your utilities there. You have the effects of Harpie Chandler to summon him to the board, and hopefully we do get another. Hopefully the Link monster has a way to search him out. I mean, you can search him out with Hysteric Sign, but you still are gonna end up wasting a normal summon um, to play the little guy, unfortunately. But overall, this is pretty still much a stable monster. It's funny how the retrain took so long to be more viable than the big monster because the big monster still became more viable. Um, in terms of spells, Hysteric Sign still one of our biggest aces. Searching for our Harpy cards, our elegant egotist. Oh, I said arrogant egotist. Elegant egotist from your graveyard or your deck to your hand. So, in conjunction with Perfumer and Oracle, it just gets a lot faster. Am I missing someone? No, I'm not missing anyone. Oh, thank God. I thought I did. Because I did talk about Perfumer and Oracle um, on the main stage. Thank God. So, where was I? Yes, sign. So many targets. Like Perfumer, Chandler, Harvest, Queen, Dancer, Oracle, Baby, Sisters, Harpy Lady 1. You have options. You have spells. Oh, well, you can't search for split mirrors, but you have spells. You have traps. Harpies have a full range of cards now, with Hysteric Sign. So you have anything and everything you can search for and more. Literally, this card now has its purpose, and its purpose is going to be very, very utilized. Harpy's Feather Roosting. Now, this card has caused a lot of conflict with a lot of players, primarily because of its last effect. If you activate this card for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon any monsters but wind. Here's the thing, Harpy Lady, everybody in this deck, wind. Most of your extra deck involving these monsters, wind. There should be no problem with the fact that this deck is wind. You can sit on your wind monsters. You don't always have to push first turn. Because sometimes people can break first turn boards. It's possible. We've seen it happen. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! That stuff can happen. So don't fret if you get your little link board busted up because you can do anything. Or better yet, do all your link plays, then you play your spell card, then you can do all of its shenanigans after you've done all of what you needed to do on the board. Because at a point in time, this card's not going to really help you if you summon something. If you're trying to summon, I don't know, things like Firewall Dragon, who's not wind. A lot of the barrel loaders are not wind. Logic Bomber, he's dark. So you're not getting really much use out of that. But you have Lightning Chidori, you have Castel, you have you have Great Fly, you have Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, you have not Booska, you have Tornado Dragon. So you have a ton of plays with wind monsters. You can even synchro with wind monsters like the Wind Witches and get Stardust Dragon to the board to defend you if you need it. There are a lot of wind cards. You just don't have to rely on other attributes when your draw card locks you down. Now some people would complain, oh, it's too many, you have to have Harpy Lady sisters and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. Listen, you got enough stuff here to support your Harpy setup. You're going to be okay. It's nothing wrong with that. Even if you draw the one card, if you control that high level Harpy, you can just search for. You can get two instead of one. But don't fret because of a card limiting stuff you summon. You'll be okay. We have enough support for Wind to not be hurt by it. Heck, even Dragonies have a good support card that Harpies can use. So it's nothing to be afraid of. Split Mirrors of Seduction. Because this card does not say battle, if this card didn't say just, Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady is being destroyed by battle, this card would be better. But I can see why they limited it because this card would be so much broken if this card really did say, what is it? Harpy Lady Control. Yeah, if it said destroy by battle. So with this, I think a lot of people would have enjoyed it a little more. But I personally still like it because it does so much that a lot of people rarely thought it would do. And that's pretty much be a really good offensive and defensive card because it gets so many monsters for its defense, and then for your offense, pop it with your Harpy effect, and then bam, you get a new monster to the board, or yeah, you get a new monster to your board. So you can get that Harpy's Pet Dragon in the graveyard. You can go and get that let's see, you can go get your Harpy sisters that are in the graveyard who are properly summoned. You can go and get your Chandler, your Queen, your Dancer, your Harpist and stuff like that. So this card has its great usage. It's just a little slow on the impact. Um, what else did I want to talk about? I think everything else is pretty much just the one-ofs. You have your hunting ground, which I'm running at 2, only because Queen can search for it. Where am I at on my timer? Oh, I'm pretty decent enough. Yeah, so you have your hunting ground, which I'm running at 2, primarily just because of the fact that um I really don't care if I have one or two, because I got Perfumer and Oracle to go get it. I have Oracle to research for it. I have Perfumer to do her thing. So I am pretty much just set off of like my Harpy lineup just because of that. Um, God, what else? Because Raigeki, Darkhold, Monster Reborn are just always staples. That's just what they are. Featherstorm, the amount of targets in this deck just keeps increasing for this card to be even more awesome. It deals with a lot of hand traps. It deals with every hand trap. It deals with um it deals with cards like Honest. It deals with cards like Utopia. It deals with cards like Searchers. Just anything that would activate this card negates. It unfortunately can't negate continuous effects, so you're kind of screwed with some of the trick stars. But you still can deal with a lot of their hand effects. You can still deal with a lot of the cards that are trying to trigger stuff in the grave and stuff like that. Excuse me. Elegant Harpy Lady and Hysteric Party. I pretty much like both of these cards. Hysteric Party gets all of your Harpy Ladies to the field. Chandler, Queen, Dancer, Harpist, Harpy Lady 1, 2, 3, Cyber, like any variations of Harpies, you're getting them off of this card by discarding just one card. So you have a ton of setup. You have a ton of leeway. You have a ton of support. Now, let's look at Ellie and Harpy Lady. At an exchange of sending your Harpy Lady sisters back to your deck, you get to summon a Harpy monster from your deck, your hand, and your graveyard. You must have at least one of each in order for this card to go off completely. So, this card has a ton of targets. Everyone is a target. Like, even in the graveyard, you have stuff to target. You have stuff in your hand to target. You got a ton of stuff in the deck you can target. Like I said, it makes the Harpie Pet Dragons in the main deck even more viable monsters than they were before. So that's why I'm running this card and enjoy running this card. As far as the extra deck goes, you have Great Fly, supportive in every way for Wind, great retrieve, great recovery, great attack power, great defense giving. It's pretty much our stand-in link monster right now. Daruma Dog. Most people don't run Daruma Dog because Daruma Dog can be a little slow starting. But hey, if he can take out a token, you're perfectly set with this card. You can go get all your Harpies from the Banished, or from the graveyard and add them back to your hand. So that's something you can look into. Um, Really also good with Beast Warrior decks, like Fire Fist and stuff like that. If you want to put him into that variation, because it's really good if you can get out your Beast Warriors and go into this guy. Deco Talker, link 3s and 4s. Depending on how much face you want to put in your extra deck, it doesn't matter. As long as you can support it, it'll work out. I think Deco Talker just works out for me. Testing, I tested Shirayuja, but it just really didn't work well for me. Firewall was okay, but those are more in terms of combo decks if I use them, but are just combination effects with other link monsters. In this case, I'm just using standard beat in, beat out, um, link monsters. So Deco Talker is a good option. Maybe when we get our link monster, we'll know exactly what she does and how to set up with her. Uh, because of the whole time ruling, that's why there's two Cowboys. Cowboys still good offensively because you can reduce the attack of your opponent's monster and deal with um some high attack monsters by giving him 500, but they lose. I think it's he gets five. No, he gets 1,000, and then they lose 500. So he has some variation of options to deal with. Evil Swearing Sciton Knight, pretty much just a board clear. We don't have Duster. We do have Regeki and Dark Hole, but we still need to do a back row, and he helps with that. Double Lightning Chidori. I went back to Chidori because of the fact that um, ain't no rank sevens in his deck, so I ain't no sevens really possibly popping off in his deck. So I really want to. I stretched the room to make sure I could stretch the field. Um, Castell, still a really good wind monster. ISP Zero, find a great utility for Winged Beast, especially when you have decks like Ultra Geist who have nothing but field presence with their continuous spells and traps. I mean, their continuous traps, you have to deal with Secret Village. She shuts down the Secret Village, and then you can go into your plays from there. Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, arguably one of Harpie's best extra deck cards because it is Harpie's extra deck card. The attack it can attack your opponent directly. It protects your Harpie monsters from being targeted by battle and card effect, including itself. So your opponent can't even direct attack you because you have a monster present, and this monster is invulnerable to being targeted by battle. In addition, you do have to lose its material once per turn, but it can only retain its effects while it has material. But hey, It's Harvey's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. Once this card hits the field, your opponent has to answer to it somehow. So unless they're warning it, or they can play Darko and Regeki, or find a way to massively wipe the board, Phantasmal Dragon is going to kick in, and he's going to do some crazy stuff. Babushka is pretty much here as a stall out. If you want to, if your first turn is not going to go too well with your hand, he's pretty much here to help you say, okay, my opponent can't do nothing while he's in defense mode. Monster effects, no, 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 no monster effects. That's pretty much what he's going to be doing when he's in defense mode. Then you can switch into attack mode and go very offensive, and then deal with your threats and stuff there. Tornado Dragon is a really good setup monster. Like, you can blow up your own spells and traps. Primarily, you just want to blow up Hysteric Sign, because you can't trigger Split Mirrors in Elegant Harpy Lady off of Tornado Dragon, because it's not a Harpy's Tornado Dragon. Like I said, it's Harpy card effects, so Tornado Dragon is not a Harpy, which sucks. But yeah, and thank God he's a worm and not a dragon, because that would just be even more detrimental to some plays. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions and stuff, comment section's open. Um, like I said, I'll have another variation of this deck up soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed that one as well. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. HEJ signing out. Take care.